boys and girls. Today I thought I would read you Pete the Cat, Scuba-Cat. Do you know what it means to scuba dive? That's when you put a mask on and you have a big, like tubing and a tank on your back and fins on your legs or your feet. And you go in the water down deep and you look at the sea creatures. So Pete the Cat, the Scuba-Cat. Let's see what this is about. Last book we found out that Pete has a brother named Bob. Pete the Cat is excited. He's going scuba diving. Pete puts on a mask and fins. He has a tank full of air. He hopes to see lots of fish. If you are lucky, you might see a seahorse, says Captain Joe. A seahorse? Says Pete. I can't wait. I never saw one before. Their ridges look like a horse's mane, says Captain Joe. Groovy, says Pete. Pete jumps into the water. Splash. Down, down, down he goes. Up, up go the bubbles, see? He's breathing out. Pete looks for a seahorse. He sees a swordfish. Pete swims out of its way. Do you see what I see? Pete doesn't see it. He only sees the swordfish. Pete waves to a stingray. It has a long, skinny tail. That's not a seahorse, thinks Pete. Pete looks high and low for the seahorse. Then he feels a tickle. Do you see the seahorse? I do. Pete sees a school of fish. They all look alike except one. You see? This one's different. It puffs up. And it's a blowfish. It is not a seahorse. Do you remember rainbow fish? I read you that last week. Where could one be? Pete looks in the rocks. What is it? Do you see anything? It's an octopus. It has 8 legs. It is not a seahorse. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pete feels a tickle. You know what a tickle is? What could it be? Pete turns. He sees a cave. Is there a seahorse inside? Pete sees a crab with claws. A seahorse does not have claws, Pete thinks. The cave is getting darker and darker. Pete feels a tickle. Feels the tickle again. Do you see the seahorse? It's right behind Pete. Pete's not looking all around. Then he sees an eel. An eel is like a snake. Pete swims past it. It is too long to be a seahorse. Oh no! It is dark to see. How will Pete get out? Ooh, that looks a little scary. Pete sees a jellyfish. It glows in the dark. Pete is almost out of the cave. He sees an angelfish. It is very colorful. What colors do you see on the angelfish? I see orange and black. Pete is out of the cave. So why is it so dark? Pete is in a shadow. What shadow is Pete in, boys and girls? Tell me. What do you see big on this page that could create such a big shadow? What is it? It's a whale. He is in the shadow of a whale. Yikes, says Pete. Pete wishes he could jump on a seahorse and ride away. Instead, Pete hops on a sea turtle instead. It takes him to the boat. There he is. I did not see a seahorse, thinks Pete. He feels a tickle on his tail. What do you think Pete felt on his tail? A seahorse, cries Pete. What a surprise. You were with me all along, says Pete. What a cool adventure. And these are all the creatures that he saw. I hope you like this book. And who knew that Pete the Cat knew how to scuba dive? I didn't know. I love Pete the Cat books. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a good night, and I hope you enjoy this read aloud. Bye-bye.